Hello everyone, my name is Emerald and welcome to Behind the Movies. I'm your host. Behind the Movies seeks to understand the thought process of those who work behind the scene, their struggles and their experiences. Today we have with us a director and CEO and founder of Filmjoint, Gbenga Adeoti. Welcome to Behind the Movies. I'm really glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. That still sounds very big. I don't like that word CEO. So
But you are though.
Okay. This is my full chest.
So how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about your journey. What introduced you to film and how do you find yourself where you are today?
That journey is quite long ago. So I started my career in Port Harcourt and I started as a theatre practitioner. I wanted to study law, but my passion for theatre kind of was stronger than doing law. So I studied theatre and film in the University of Port Harcourt. So that was how my career started, actually in the street. So I started the whole theatre thing and film thing before going into school. So going to school was more to study the profession and make it more stronger. Yeah. So that is how my career started. And then from school, I came out from school and then the first job I got then was in media. Yeah, for the media work in a TV, kind of a TV station. Then so I lived in Port Harcourt for a while after school and then came back to Lagos. And then in Lagos I did a few jobs, worked with some senior colleagues in court. And then it's still short. We've not even started. Before it started, tell me about it. It feels like maybe a decade. Okay, but I've been in the field for almost a decade. Let me just use almost a decade. I started in 2006. I don't like mentioning it. Wow. But officially, kind of professionally, let me just use the word. In film, basically, I started in, I think, 2016, 17. I did my first short film in 2017 after school. That was my final project in my first short film, and it was nice. So I kind of use that date. I don't like going back to 2006 because when you say 2006, you sound like one kind like old man kind of.
I mean, you're a veteran if you started in 2006.
Nah, don't worry. I started in 2017.
Right. So so basically you went to film school.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what their experience is like and if there were any particular mentors in the film school that stood out to you that maybe shaped your path?
So when you say mentor, I'm kind of very what is the word for it now? Kind of indifferent about the word mentorship, in as much as I kind of also advise people to kind of find people to mentor them. I kind of advocate for that because it's very, very good, and that also helped me in my career. So, but the thing is, sometimes when people ask me who is my mentor, they say, "Yeah, to pick." Yeah, and that is not to say that there is no actual person. Yeah, I'm a crazy observer. Like, you can be learning from me and you not know. So I can pick people in the industry that I'm actually learning from that they are not even aware of. You get? And I have people that have had the opportunity to have a close working relationship with them, and for lack of a better word, they still serve as my mentor. Yeah, kind of a thing. Because for me, I believe when you mention the word mentor, there's so much about the mentor himself. Yeah. So your life, what I do must actually kind of reflect you. So I cannot call you my mentor, and there are certain things that you do that does not sit right to me. So I'm very, very careful about it. I don't know if you get my point. Yeah. So I can like what you do, maybe career-wise and all that, and kind of learn from you for that. But when it comes to mentorship, like everything about, in fact, once they see you, they should be seeing me.
Right.
I mean, they should be seeing you in me.
Right.
You get that kind of thing. So it's more like a reflection. So that is why I'm very careful using the word mentorship most times. Yeah. But that is not to say that there's no one or two person that I kind of look up to in the industry. Yeah, so talking about film school, like I said, I studied theatre and film. And after coming back to Lagos, I went to a Creative Academy. I think the first second year of the academy. Yeah, the first second year. Yeah, the first second, if I'm not mistaken. And it was quite interesting because in the university, there is a kind of limitation to what you'll be taught in terms of film. And especially since it's theatre and film, the concentration is more on theatre than on film. And already the university, the federal school that I went to, we don't have equipment, we don't have some certain things. So you have to learn by yourself, kind of a thing. And actually, what helped me in school, while I was in school, I was still doing film, going for production, like we call it PP, private productions. Yeah. So sometimes I go for 3 months at the case, and I still came out very good. You get. Yeah. So I came back to Lagos, went to Gbenga Academy, and the process there kind of enlightened me more in terms of the process of filmmaking. It was more expanded, like more deep, yeah, which kind of also shifts my knowledge about film, which also is one of the motivating factor for me setting up Filmjoint, yeah, because after film school, I think I did 3 films. Yeah, I did 3 short films. Other than me and my friend we collaborated on this one. In fact, one I refused to release one. So because it was more like the knowledge about film kind of increased or was kind of shaped differently. And when like kind of promote short film, what will the short film basically? And the time and effort that goes into making that short film is almost the same. It's the same thing with feature film, yeah, because it teaches you the industry process, yeah. So if you're doing that for short film, then there should be some kind of gain or recognition, just like you also making a feature film. You get. So that kind of motivated me to creating the platform Filmjoint. I know we'll go into that. Yeah, but so I think that is that as far as that is concerned. I feel like I've talked to the whole world.
So, in terms of visual storytelling, you just mentioned now that you had one film that you don't want to you have never released.
It's not like I don't want to release it. So it's more like a sentiment. Should I use the word sentiment? Yeah, it's a sentiment to the industry, the scale we find ourselves, yeah, and the idea for short films, because it's not like the film is too good not to be released, yeah, but it's still a passion thing that actually also kind of drove me to setting up the Filmjoint, because I feel as a filmmaker, if you're making a film is film first of all, whether short or long. So if you're making a film, you make it well. So, but the only discouragement there or dispiriting factor there is when you don't have a platform to get your film seen. And you already know the notion about short films. Yeah, so nobody wants short film because they feel it has no value. And I believe that my work has greater potential, greater value. And it's beyond just putting it on a YouTube or putting it on. I want the film to be on platforms that I can be proud of, yeah, that has more visibility. Because first and foremost, as a filmmaker, when you make a film, you want the film to be seen before ever the whole movement is yeah. So that film, I spent money and I was like, no, I cannot just spend money and do a film and I'll just release it like that. No, the money must make it, the film must make its money or have some kind of gain, yeah. So that's that.
So, have you ever failed to pass across a message in your film?
Failed?
Yes. Like, is it like, have you ever released a film and thought, well, I didn't pass across the message quite as well as I wanted to?
I don't think so, because funny enough, my works are kind of directed towards social issues, yeah. In fact, now I'm trying to even turn it kind of down and explore other dynamics. The same thing, same, because you have to address something. You have to every film has a message. Yeah, yeah. But again, it's the style of storytelling that matters. So for me right now, I'm even trying to change my style. But I don't think there has ever been a moment where I feel my work did not actually tell. Because when you watch it, you would actually know that okay, maybe this thing is addressing this thing or that. You would know. Yeah, because it's always there.
Okay. So having a storyboard and a short list normally makes film more effective. Like when you're going on set, obviously. Well, you also know. I also know a lot of directors in Nollywood that tend to go by instinct. They kind of just go on set and just wing it. Which one of those are you?
Oh,
How?
okay, so I usually say that as a filmmaker, especially as a director, you have to be dynamic, kind of like you find yourself in different situations, and then you have to beat them. Like you have to play by the situation you find yourself. Yeah, for instance, you may be called to do a film. Okay, let's say for instance, the Asaba Star, where you are meant to direct a film for 3 days or 2 days, and you call yourself a director. You need the money first of all. So are you going to turn it down because I went to film school, I have to do like this? Are you going to turn it down and say it's crazy, it's tough, it's a war when you find yourself in that kind of scenario. But guess what? You have to play by the games kind of the thing, for lack of a better word. Like you have to step up by the situation you find yourself. So if it calls for you to, because again, if you want to do storyboard for a film, shortlist and all that, the time, the money that is going to go involved. So if you have those, why not go for it? But if you don't, again, I think another thing is also it depends on your background too as a filmmaker, how you are trained. For me, I have strong theater background, and in theater they taught us something that the set influences the action, the play or dance or whatever thing you are performing, the production. Yeah. So you may have a rehearsal in this set, in this small space, and you've already directed a movement, and then you go to the place of performance and you realize that it's an arena stage and this is just a thrust. So how are you going to do? Yeah, you must perform, the show must go on. Yes. So because the show must go on, you have to do what it takes to meet up to the demand. Yeah, so for me, I'm quite versatile, and funny enough, I've kind of find myself in those situations. Yeah, but the thing is, you have to have the energy for it because you go mad. Yeah, so I'm in for the storyboard thing, the short list thing, the the impromptu, is it impromptu? I'll call it improvisation kind of a thing, whatever. In fact, it kind of tests you more as a good director because sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you have to think on your feet, kind of. So if you're going back to the books, oh no, I don't do it like this, it has to be like this, you would end up not doing anything, you'll be stuck. Yeah, but in a situation whereby you are very dynamic and you can kind of improvise or think on top of you get, it will be very easy for you, and it also kind of makes the people, the artists and your crew respect you more. Because filmmaking is solving problem. You plan something, you do your short list, do everything, you go on set and you meet a different situation. What are you going to do in that case? So you have to solve the problem. That is why you're a leader. So you have to solve problems. So me, I'm in for all.
So what's your favorite part of the filmmaking process and why?
I love being in the field. I hate post production, even though I do post production. Okay, don't know use the word it is too strong. I dislike post production kind of, especially editing. I do edit. But I just love being on the field. I just love to make things happen here. Then planning, I'm very strong at planning too. So pre-production and production. But if you ask me to pick just one, to be between pre-production and production. So what I would likely want to pick pre-production because how you is it how you lay your bed, how you lie on it?
Yeah, how you lay your bed, so shall you lie.
And something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm big on planning, yeah. I can take 1 year to plan just one thing. Yeah, because I believe that the output will tell. Yeah. For instance, a good instance with Filmjoint is you don't want to know how long it takes, how long it took for the planning of Filmjoint before we finally like okay, let's go for it. Yeah, so I can. So yeah, I would choose pre-production because if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you edit. Are there times where you're kind of sitting down and you're editing your work and you think, I could have done this a different way?
Definitely there would. I think as a creative, it's kind of hard for you to be satisfied with your work. It's freaking hard. Like, it's part of the reason why I have not even released the short. It's not like the film is not good. It is good, but I don't know. Maybe I have not had the leading to do that yet because I also work with my spirit. So if you good, say it's good, I go. If you say hold on, I hold on. Yeah. So generally, I feel as creatives, you can do something very fantastic, and people are hyping. Well, listen to this for this thing. When are they hype now? Yeah. So yeah, definitely there are times that I feel like this is cool. I've been better. But again, it wouldn't be as bad. Yeah. The most important thing is it being presentable, you get good enough for the eyes. Yeah.
So what is your process? Like when you're preparing to shoot, can you take us through your entire process?
When I'm going to shoot, what film, events, stage, what everything. Film. Okay. First thing first is incubating the idea for this. Okay, let's say we have the scripts, yeah? And then getting the crew, and then the actors that would be involved, and budgeting, most important. Yeah. So for me, in making a film, I feel the most important thing you need, apart from the human resources, which is the what is it called now, the actors and the crew, is where the film is going to be set in. Yeah, because if you don't have a location, you don't have a film. Yeah, so first thing first, you want to find a place that would fit the location. If you're not writing for a space, you get what I mean? So, but if you're writing for a space, it's a different thing. But if you're not writing for a space, then you have to look for a space that fits into what you want to do, that fit perfectly into it, that kind of bring out the vision you're trying to tell. You get, so that for me is one. Because again, you want to know if it's going to be paid for or not. So that has to be secure. So once you have your location, then you can start sourcing for your cast and crew. Then do script reading, do rehearsals. So I'm big on script reading, I'm big on rehearsals. No matter how the budget is. So recently I did a short film, and what we did, because it was just a low budget production. So what we were able to do was to bring the actors to the set where we were going to film, and then we had the script reading there, and we did not rehearse, but the script reading was more of script reading rehearsal. So by rehearsal, I would have said what my initial plan was for us to use the space movement, because it was just a one situation where you have to block. It's basically movement in just one space. Yeah. So I wanted us to do that rehearsal, but because we have time constraints and budget constraints, we could not achieve that. But the idea is the actors were there and they were able to see the space, so it kind of sold something to them. Like they kind of have an idea of what they are about to do. Again, like it prepares them for the task, because it's more like them being boxed in. Yeah. So I'm big on script reading, and I don't like the bachelor script reading because you don't get the best from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like sit down, no matter if you can make it happen, have a sit down round table discussion, and it's you get more from that. Yeah. So I'm big on that, and then yeah, script reading, rehearsal, may or may not. Then hmm, yeah, I think that is that.
All right. So
But you have to get the right people in your team,
right.
which is
right.
very for me. For instance, I usually like to get the what is it called now? So I direct and produce, but I do not like carrying the holding of the producer. So I just get the producer separately and then the PM first. Then yes, producer PM. Then once I get my DOP and maybe continuity, then those one hold those one first. Then so we do the planning for the film. Yeah. Then before any other crew and then cast.
So you produce, you direct, and you edit.
I practically do everything.
You practically do everything. How do you separate all of them when you're shooting?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Because the reason why I say thank you is because in this our little field, it's not little, but just pardon my word, we tend to want to do everything and it's not good. So a good instance is I specialize in directing. I did directing in school from my pre to final year, yeah. And I had every reason to leave directing and do other courses and specialize in other courses because my time was divided. Like you're going to class, you're doing project back to back, you're doing rehearsal, you're doing production, and you're still going for productions outside. In fact, there was a time in school that I think I went for. We had a production in Lagos, and it was a stage production. We were rehearsing every day, and I was missing school. Yeah. So my friends, my group of friends, had to change their course. Like they picked other minor courses that would kind of help them. But I still stayed and I did my directing, like we died there, and it still came out well. And that is because it is what I want to be, like what I want to do. In as much as I shoot, I edit, I produce, I do this, I do that. Those aspects kind of just helps me as a director, yeah. Because I feel as a director you need to know everything. Because by knowing everything it will help you also as a director. So for instance, because I know how the camera works, I can ask this guy, the camera operator, what is he shooting on? Am I okay? What frame is he shooting? Or you get all those technical details. It helps me. So if I have the opportunity to do a film, because I know how to shoot, does not mean I should necessarily carry the camera. Yeah, no. There is a DOP for that. So do your DOP or do your cinematography. Let me just do directing. So and I leave it to that. Every role, everybody has his or her role in the production. So in as much as you know everything does not mean that you should do everything. In fact, something happened recently with a friend. So he sent a film to me. He's a director, he's a cinematographer. And I was sharing with somebody else that I've noticed that people who are directors, cinematographers, or right, who are kind of diversified, they have their strong points. And when they are doing a film and they kind of do take some major roles in that film, you will notice that one will be stronger than one.
Yes.
Yeah. So in this film, the cinematography was on point, but the story was, the actor's interpretation was not it at all. Yeah. So when I saw that, and I say, nah, this guy, this is your strength. So don't try to, if you can't be shooting and directing at the same time. You need to concentrate on your actors, interpretation, and all that. Like you need to be in your actors. You can't be shooting. You would not get the best. The only thing that would help you is if you're working with actors that are good. They would help you in kind of bringing out the character. But you'll be doing less. You may not be doing as much as you would have done as just a director. because now the actors are leading themselves in some way indirectly. I don't know if you get the point.
Yeah.
So, but your picture, your everything will be on point. Yeah. So for me, you can do everything, but you just have to stick to one and train yourself perfectly in that one. So let people know you as I write too, but I run away from it. Yeah, I edit, but I run away from editing. So the idea is when you find yourself in situations that cause for that need, you fit into that. Like I usually say that nobody can make shakaka for me. Yeah, because I can practically do everything, even non-production wise. There are other things outside production that I do that if I call you to do it, I will just do it myself. Like the world is not that difficult to just depend on. I don't like depending on people. So I think that also is a motivating factor for people to kind of learn everything.
Things,
Yeah.
right. So Filmjoint has been the talk of the town. Believe it or not.
I don't believe
You don't believe it, but it's happening. Because I mean,
this
I have.
one is hype now.
It's not. I'm serious. It's not even. It's not even hard because
Alright.
I know people who. I know people who talked about subjects in their short films to Filmjoint. So I would say it is becoming top down because you've created a niche specifically for short films, which we never had in Nigeria. I mean, the film festivals we did have in Nigeria were for features and short films. So we never had something that catered to just short films where people who just wanted to watch short films could actually like go to. And so I can definitely see it becoming a very big thing, but I want to hear from you. What is Filmjoint going to be in like the next 5 years?
That next 5 years look like all these interview questions. Who is the 5 years? So if you ask me, I actually don't know how to define it because it's a step at a time, and in as much as the goal is to monetize short films, everything we're doing right now are steps in that direction. So it is bigger than me. Filmjoint is bigger than me. The idea is bigger, but the point is, in 5 years' time, we should be able to solve the problem with short films being distributed, being on platform. Like if you make a short film, you should have a place for it to go. Yeah, not like you making the film and then after maybe sending it to one or two festivals, it ends up in your shelf or maybe on your page on YouTube. You get it should be beyond that because when you make a film, the same way you have feature films is the same way short film. The same way you have short film being feature film being marketed is the same way I believe short films should be marketed. Yeah. But because there's that notion, that idea that there is no money in short film, so that's already you can't go and meet an investor and be telling him or her that you want to make a short film.
Right.
You're not serious. How am I going to get my money back?
Exactly.
No investor will listen to you. Yeah. So I believe Filmjoint is going to solve that problem. Yeah, by God's grace. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. So basically, I believe Filmjoint is going to solve the whole problem in terms of distribution and getting films seen. Yeah. What's our goal right now? Specific goal is getting films monetized, getting films out there on different platforms. So there are things that when you see as a filmmaker, you'll be motivated to beat that standard. So there's a standard we are setting for short film. So by setting that standard, it will kind of entice the likes of streaming platforms, maybe like Netflix. Fan video is not in Africa again, but other streaming platforms and TV stations, cable TV, and the rest of them, to kind of like, wow, these films are good to be on our platforms. Yeah, because again, they are short films that are better than, in terms of production value and even story-wise, most feature films they have out there. Yeah, so you cannot even beat that fact. So the fact that the only advantage those ones have is because they are long format. And something I've noticed is the fact that because people want to sell, the idea of commercialization are kind of driving people to do to kind of make if a story that should be short into long format. In fact, right now, they even what is even trending right now is series. Like everybody wants to do series. Yeah. So I believe that there are stories that should remain as short. There are stories that fit for features, and there are stories that fit for series. So don't force a short film into a feature film, and don't force a feature film into a series. You get they all have their parts to play. So definitely on the long run, there are lots, there are lots that that Filmjoint is trying to do. So the premieres and the awards are just parts of a whole. If you get my point. The other things we're trying to set up for Filmjoint, because again the idea is we are trying to help young filmmakers, emerging filmmakers, yeah, and in the long run, other filmmakers out there to kind of fill in the gap. Like I always say, everybody will not follow the same gates. Everybody is scrambling for the same thing in the industry, both the big ones and the ones that are already down there, out there, I mean, and the ones that are coming up. Nobody would give you space. Nobody will leave the space for you. Right. So you have to find your own path. Yeah. And what Filmjoint is doing is to create another path and not necessarily following that one gate that everybody is scrambling for. Like nobody, not even your mentor and this thing. What they will give you will be less than what you should have. You get. So you have to break through by yourself. Yeah. So what Filmjoint is doing in the long run is going to demystify a lot of things and going to change the dynamics in the industry. Yeah, so that's why I said it is big. Yeah. So first thing, the monetization, the showcase is the present goal. Yeah, and then many more things.
So I heard a lot of you did have a whole monetization of short films, making it lucrative. As with the feature length, the introduction to feature length films in Africa, when we first got it, the films that were coming out were really, they were actually really good. But with oversaturation, because people saw that, oh, that's money, that there's money in that business.
You know what I'm laughing? We had a shoot yesterday, and we interviewing one of the jurors, and this question is kind of similar. Was it in the question, I mean, was it the discussion? I can't remember for sure right now. But we had a conversation around this. Yeah. And so there's a dynamic in the Nigerian film space, which is different from the Hollywood film space. Yeah. So Hollywood started with the studio-like kind of a thing. So small studio doing films. Yeah. And Nigerian film industry. Yeah, we started individual. So somebody saw an opportunity. Like film started in the days of Badokunde when they do. He's also a theater practitioner. So he does theater, he does film, together kind of thing. Then so many of them I can't remember their name right now. But the idea is people saw opportunity to make money from those films. So that is why most times you trace it back to VHS tapes and all that, because once you make a film and then you duplicate those films, you can sell it to different homes and all that. Yeah, that kind of a thing. So that was a factor that also necessitated the commercialization aspect of feature films you get. But then, like you said, the films then in the beginning, the early days was the storyline, everything was on point. Yes. But again, it was overflowed because people have to make money, and again, because they now kind of then they saw that this thing is making like millions and millions of money. So let us, and I think Nigerian films were one of the films in Africa that traveled more to other parts of the world. Right. Yeah, especially other African countries, because other other African countries were more into cinematic. We waiting for that cinema with this thing. Do film 4 days, 3 days, they're chunking out films, they're doing multiple production, money is coming in, films are selling. So in fact, somebody said that some African countries even have kind of an issue with us because of that, because it was more like spoiling the film space as an African film space to the world.
Yes,
you get that kind of thing. So up until now, I cannot say, because now I don't know if I think what is better now is production value in terms of picture quality.
Yes,
then our story is now
coming up.
Before the story as
yes, production value.
But now,
in the same vein, short films typically are a way for directors to really express that artistic side of them. To really be able to understand film holistically without having to do a feature length film. If it's monetized the same way feature length films became very valuable and people could get money from it, is there like a certain fear that people might start to churn out more less than par short films just for the sake of making money?
Okay, so for me, this is my own personal what is it called now? My own personal opinion. I feel every problem should be solved from the roots. So the reason why for now it's difficult to solve the problem in the industry right now in terms of the kind of films we see is because of how we started. Like what Filmjoint is doing in terms of before your film would make it to any platform, it has to go through a very complex process. And you have people seeing that film to vet it. Like it has to be a story that is there, good story and picture wise. So personally, I feel if starting like this, in terms of getting it right, not just doing for doing sake, and other platforms adopt that as a model also to make sure that any film that is coming onto their platform or that they are showing would have this standard. I think it kind of make it moderate, or it would remove it will remove that idea, or just take off that idea of people overflogging the whole monetization. But I think again it will be very difficult for you to make a short film that is not compelling. So I feel like I said, the way it's all how it started. So if you started it well, like it would also help. So what we're doing right now is not like setting a standard for people to follow. So if others follow that standard also, I don't think it would be that hard unless they just want to collect anything. And it's difficult for you to make a short film, and the short film is not strong enough, and then you will not get it sold kind of a thing. I think it will be more difficult. For feature length film, it can go, because for instance TV stations are looking more at long formatted films to fill in space, and most of these platforms also they are looking at the market for the film. So your film may not be really good, but maybe it has some stars in it that they feel is going to have some sales for them, and then they will take it. But for short film, unless one thing. So there is a point the world is going right now, for me, that I believe that people's attention span are reducing. So unless it really get to that stage where people's attention span drastically reduced, and then now there is more demand for short film. So the law of demand and supply. Once the demand is very high, So unless we get to that stage, but again we must be very careful, because look at Hollywood for instance. I'm not saying they don't also do bad films, but you see those films that they take their time to do, at least it's still good. Like it's still they keep improving. Yeah, and you're asking, and here we are still asking ourselves, why are we still doing? Why are we not kind of break the limit and do something more? You get more out of the ordinary. We're still just doing just lazy story or something like that. Not sure. Yeah. So I think it will be difficult based on how it's starting right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And what words of encouragement would you offer to those who are hoping to be directors or to start initiatives quite similar to yours?
There's no word of encouragement. Like Nike says, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like if you have an idea and you have a strong conviction, in fact, everything that would discourage you not to start, you will encounter it. So it's just between you and your God. Yeah? Yes. Between you and your God, if you know that okay, it is God that gave me this thing. And you have a strong conviction about it. And you also need to make your research, and you also need to do many things. Yeah, you need to put yourself in a point that nobody will be able to discourage you. Like you need to discourage yourself enough to resist any discouragement. Like for me, right before starting the Filmjoint, there's something that I always say that even till now, I was kind of prepared to fail. Yeah, like I started out to fail. Like I was prepared to embrace failure. Like anyone wonder if you fail, it's failed. Yeah, there are many stuff out there that when they started out first, they had many. In fact, till now we are still having our challenges. That's why sometimes people say, yeah, I'm not relating the happening inside. Yeah, because it won't be easy. It will be freaking off. Like everything that would make you stop, not to continue, would happen. So it's left for you to say or decide whether to go on or not, or whether to keep doing even if you fail. Yeah. So if you are very convinced, if your spirit between you and your God, you have to pray about it. So you get. So if you pray and you feel, okay, this is the path God is leading me to, yeah, and you feel God really wants you to do it, you are very convinced that no matter what it takes, it will happen. Just start. Like don't even be afraid to start. Like the fear is part of the factor here. But when I say don't be afraid to start, is the fear being part of the factor should motivate you enough to start. Like so, don't be afraid that I don't have money, I don't nothing. Don't worry, just start. If you have a good product, people will come for you. You get so just do it.
Just do it. You guys heard him. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. But before
out of my show.
So before we end this, I would like us to play a little game.
Hey.
It's nothing serious.
Go about win money.
No.
Why?
Well, I mean, next time when you come in, I'll probably have like
money
yeah,
bank.
like maybe 1 billion.
Oh,
right
nice.
Is that too small for you?
Nice. I can manage it.
You can manage it. Alright, no problem. I'll have that. But for now, the winner just gets to hear something about the loser.
About
the loser.
What is the loser?
No, so that's what the winner is winning. The person gets to hear the loser say something about themselves or do something.
So how does it work?
So, do you know rock, paper, scissors, the game? Rock, paper.
Okay.
You know the game, right? So, whoever loses the game has to pick a paper from in that plate and read out what's on it. It's not. It is not. I promise.
Okay. Let's try.
Okay.
So that you pick it.
I can't tell you.
So how would you? Sorry. I know that the game you do scissors or whatever. But what is the rock? What is the scissors?
Scissors. Paper. Rock.
So if I do scissors and you do
paper.
Mm.
You win.
Okay, scissors always win.
Scissors will cut paper. Paper will wrap a rock, and a rock will destroy a scissor.
I've seen this game, but I've not really followed this.
Well, now you have a reason to.
So who is picking? Who would pick?
The person who loses.
To scissors or to paper or to rock?
The person who loses. We'll just play.
Mm.
So whoever plays, we just play at random, right? So we don't know where each person is gonna throw out. So if you happen to throw out scissors and I throw out a paper, you win.
Okay.
If you throw out a paper and I throw out a rock, you win.
Okay.
If you throw out a rock and I throw out the scissors, you win.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm getting it now.
So it depends on what you throw out that will make you either win or lose.
So you said you pick.
If I lose.
I'm suspecting you now. Okay, let's start.
You don't have to. Alright. Rock, paper, scissors. I won.
I
won.
I did.
That's
Okay.
scissors, rock,
Okay.
destroy, scissors.
Holy shit.
I have such bad luck with this game. You have no idea how grateful I am that I finally won.
You are doing it with the learner. I just learn for the first time. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm going to pick something sneaky good.
don't be worried.
I don't trust people.
You have to start trusting me.
Nah. Have you ever broken the law? Bad. Where is the law? I know I've done some kind of things. Like what? Yes, I have. Yeah.
You
Yes,
have?
I have.
You have to tell the story. Alright.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing.
thank God this one.
Shall we go again?
Yeah,
Do you want to go again?
it's your show
Okay.
now, so you have the
Nah.
It's your show, so I'm just here to go battle for you to whatever. Use me as you like.
I'm good. I might lose, so I'm good.
Okay, you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go.
No. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
It's an honor. And thank you guys, man. My dad is shoot sense. I'm a superhero.
Alright everyone, so this is Gbenga Adeoti, and thank you so much for watching. See you same time, same station next week. Bye.